day. We don't do Saturday anymore. Now it's bee day.
Well, I think we caught more bees than beetles on this one this time. Put that over here, give them a chance to get off of it. Well, hey everybody. Yesterday we had a bit of a scare. Just as soon as I came home, there was this big old cloud of bees up in front of the hive. And man, if we didn't panic. And, you know, maybe it's just me, or just us. Maybe it's all beekeepers, but you just can't help but panic when you're still kind of new at it and not too familiar with the behaviors of bees. And we thought, because we had so many swarms last year, we thought just for sure we were having some sort of big negative problem, like it was another swarm or it was a robbing or something. But after closer inspection and consultation with some folks, we think it was just a big hatching. We think that this hive just had a big hatch. And looking at them today, I think that's probably true. There's no signs of robbing, like wax on the ground. There's no fighting at the door or anything like that. There was just this big cloud of bees. So we're in here today for our weekly inspection. Whoops. And I'm going to take a real good long hard look at some things here. All right, first up is the bottom board beetle traps. Let's see what we got here. They really hadn't been all that attacked by the bees, but you can kind of see where they got fluffed up. They haven't eaten as much of it like they did last time. I'm not seeing a single bee on there, or a single beetle, which is good. That's good.
They are, however, a little more aggressive today.
Well, let me get a little more smoke going. All right, let's check this other beetle trap. Come on. There we go. Again, it's all fluffed up. Not nearly as chewed as it was the week before. And not a single beetle. We may have brought the beetle population of this hive down to a point where the bees are completely controlling it. Now, that said, I'm not going to take any risks, and I am still going to put 2 paper traps down here at the very bottom. But I do want to take a look at that bottom board. There's one beetle. Sorry, Mom. We got a fight going on right here with one beetle. Come on, beetle, let me help you. There. All right, and I'm not seeing any fights over in the other corner, but there's one beetle. There we go, got that one too. So 2 beetles in the corners. 1 in each corner, and that's it. I think we can handle that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there go our paper traps for the next week. And now I'm just going to start putting boxes back on. Whoopsie. I'm like pressing down around the edges here because I can usually get it to stick to some propolis. And all right, now I'm just going to get this back on, and I'm going to start going through each of the frames and see what kind of activity we have going on here in the hive. I've gone through a couple frames where you could tell where there's been a hatch out, but look at this frame. Just look at all that brood. Oh, that's so exciting to see. I'm just going to cut off a little bit of that comb that's down on the bottom there and get them to stop from building downward. I know there wasn't any brood on this frame 2 weeks ago when we last looked at it, so I just wanted to show you the tight brood pattern this queen is laying, even though I can't find her. Hadn't seen her yet. I'm seeing larvae and eggs all over the place. I mean, you can see there in the corner, all around that corner right there, larvae, but still hadn't seen her yet. One thing I'm noticing on this frame, this is the middle frame on the uppermost brood box, and you can see those cells like this one too over on the other side that suggest possible swarm cells. Despite I have found several frames that are drawn with comb, but they're not full. But we're gonna clean these off. We've got a couple more little cell action down here too, so we'll scrape that edge of this frame too. We're gonna get these potential swarm cells off of this frame and every other frame. And I know generally speaking, the rule of thumb that you hear mentioned is, you know, if they fill up 8 out of 10 frames, you need to put on the next box. So I mean, like in the very bottom box, I guess there were 8 out of 10 frames that were in use, not wall to wall, but in use. And so now this one's got a whole bunch of this second tier of boxes has a whole bunch of a whole bunch of swarm cells. There weren't any eggs laid in them yet. And so it just makes me wonder what's on their mind. See, this frame's got 3 more of them. Okay, so there is something going on every frame of this hive. And there were about 4, maybe there were 5 frames that had swarm cells being made on the bottom of them. But we only found 2 beetles down way at the bottom that I killed by hand. And then on the very top frame where we laid down the where we laid down the paper towels before, there were 4 of them that I also killed by hand. So with the hive feeling so strong, and yet right there at the cusp of almost having every single frame, well, like I said, every single frame's got something happening. Many of them are full or on the verge of being full, and everything is in bloom right now. It seems like the world's just exploding around us with spring. Last night we had a freeze, and the night before that we had a freeze, and I think that there is a potential for those to be the last freezes of the year, but we do still have technically about 3 weeks left until our average final frost. So we'll see. None of the frames were capped enough to take any honey today, but we had enough frames to be available to go ahead and add on another box. So this is now 4 mediums, and that's the most hive bodies we've ever had on a box. So we'll see where it goes from here. I think next week, depending on the storms coming through, with the amount of things that are in bloom around here, maybe we'll be taking some honey off, but time will tell. Today, I'm excited to see that the beetle population is down. We saw that on the hive traps, on the small hive beetle traps, there was no activity whatsoever of beetles. We also saw that there was a lot of larvae, and we also saw several frames that clearly indicated that yesterday what I was worried was some kind of swarm or robbing was a large hatching, and it looks like there's going to be a lot more of those in the near future. So thank you all so much for watching, and thanks to all of our Patreons who make every project on the homestead possible. We'll see you next time. Bye.